Hey DSP, he's his birthday boy, he's got a week-long celebration to enjoy. Well, he's scarred from not getting that Wolverine toy, just give him lots of money to bring him some joy. Let's go over how he's lived all those years, from his education to his failing careers, from being one of YouTube gaming's pioneers to being buried in financial arrears. A young DSP was so overfed, but he studied hard, every book was read, and his peers all laughed as he pointed and said, "Hey, look at Phil, with the oddly shaped head." He wanted to attend either Harvard or Yale, but they knocked him back, so it was to no avail. And he claims it's all because he was poor and pale, so academically let his learning curtail. Claims he used to lift weights and pressing X to doubt. These days he has those noodle arms wobbling about. But it's true that during college he was not as stout, even if he was doomed to be inflicted by gout. After this he turned his focus to competitive gaming, and in Street Fighter he found a game that saw him exclaiming, he's the best US-based player, but his foes kept on blaming that the version used that Evo was simply not worth playing. But that wouldn't pay the bills, so he needed to be hired, worked a slew of different jobs, none of which that he desired. Never ended well for Phil, claimed that others had conspired into getting his conniving, lying, lazy ass fired. So he went all in on YouTube, popularity grew, coined a bunch of silly phrases like nothing I could do. Machinima would pay him for his every view, so he spammed his uploads with too many vids to queue. This was when Phil had peaked, earning a huge wage, and the algorithm saw Phil take centre stage. Then he groomed a young fan who was underage, and from the real world Phil would disengage. He thought that his success would surely never end, and with YouTube high income that he could so depend, so he kept on impulse buying he would constantly spend. Never for a single second did he comprehend that he may need to prepare for a rainy day, but instead invested money in moving away. But this was around the time his channel would decay, and so cut some of his income from machinima pay. He got used to fancy living, never thought to ever save, so relied on his own fanbase, whose money he did crave. But it never was enough, as Phil was now a slave to spending every cent he got until he's in his grave. From valedictorian to just being a dick, Mr. Finance Degree's choices ain't been slick. Although I did pull off that bankruptcy trick, then he married some Midwest retarded chick. A birthday celebration that's a whole week long, so for Phil I made up this impromptu shitty song. So forgive me if my language comes across as strong, but your begging and your scams are so fucking wrong. It's Groundhog Day forever, every day is the same. He will ask for more money, stumble through some game, and when tips start to slow, will seek something to blame on his dwindling YouTube gaming fame. Phil ain't one to settle for second best, as to see himself as living above the rest, and his bourgeoisie bastard is so possessed into never seeking work as long as fans invest. For every single fail in life he disavowed, accepting responsibility not allowed. If only Phil had been so well endowed with redeeming qualities to have made his own parents feel proud. So now he's turning 40 feeling salty and bitter, his reputation ruined, buried in the shitter. You can cry and bitch all night while staying up on Twitter, but this is the fate of YouTube's most prolific rage quitter. Happy birthday, ya fucking dick.